If our Russian cats had their own republic, its capital would undoubtedly be the town of Zelenogradsk. In Zelenogradsk, cats are revered and cherished. They are depicted on building walls, laid out in mosaics on the roads, and even cat houses are built for them. And not just any cat houses, but ones with heated floors, so that cats can be a little cozier in winter. Hello, dear friends. We are in Zelenogradsk, a resort town, perhaps one of the most charming and lovely resorts on the entire Baltic Sea. Zelenogradsk has existed as a resort since as far back as 1816. At that time, it was not called Zelenogradsk, but Cranz, which translates from German as wreath or crown. This name is associated with the shape of the coastline in the area, which resembles a wreath or a crown. However, a more likely theory links the town's name, Cranz, to an Old Prussian word meaning coast or steep shore. It was in 1816, by the decision of the land minister and statesman Count Heinrich Theodor von Schön, that Cranz was opened as a seaside resort. That year, the first resort infrastructure was created, separate bathing areas for men and women. In its first year of operation, the resort welcomed 35 guests, while the permanent population of the village itself at that time was about 300 residents. The popularity of the resort gradually grew. For example, in 1829, it was visited by the famous Polish poet Adam Mickiewicz. In 1844, Cranz received the status of a royal resort. In less than half a century, numerous guest houses, sanatoriums, hotels, and fashionable private homes appeared at the resort. Development was also boosted by the first railway line, which connected the resort to Königsberg in 1885. As a result, the influx of holidaymakers increased significantly.
Смальта – это стекло, которое печется, плавится при высоких температурах. В него добавляются окислы металлов. И это стекло приобретает тогда какой-то цвет.
Cranz turned into Zelenogradsk in 1947. After World War II, East Prussia, where this town was located, became part of the Soviet Union by decision of the Potsdam Conference. But before becoming Zelenogradsk, the town was nearly named Baltiisk, and for a short time, it was called Nakamovo. Today, Zelenogradsk is one of the most popular and famous seaside resorts in Russia, attracting a huge number of tourists from all corners of our vast homeland. One of the resort's attractions is its beautiful seaside embankment, a city promenade stretching along the beach. The Windrose Square is the starting point of the walking route along the famous Promenade, and it is also the city's main open-air stage. Also, the Eye of the Baltic Ferris wheel is installed in the square, offering fantastic views of the town and the sea expanses. You absolutely must walk along the pier, which extends 150 meters into the sea. It is an excellent viewpoint, as well as a convenient spot for fishing enthusiasts. Until 1816, when the seaside resort of Cranz was just founded, a fishing village stood on the site of the walking area. By the end of the 19th century, the first promenade, 150 meters long, was built as a simple wooden plank decking on wooden piles. Currently, its length is 2.5 kilometers. It is on this poignant sunset meet sea note that our three-part series dedicated to this truly epic excursion to the Curonian Spit comes to an end. But the holidays continue. This means that ahead of us lie more interesting and educational trips to one of the most unusual and attractive locations in our country, the Kaliningrad Oblast. Hit the like button, leave comments, and why not, subscribe to the channel Pictures from the Heartland. Peace and love.
Мира и любви.